Stable AF. What's going on, guys? I'm Kostas, and today we are talking about stabilized footage. This thing's like a lightsaber. This is crazy. Okay, guys, so I got a gimbal. I got a stabilizing gimbal. This is the Zhiyun Crane V2. It's not the Crane 2 because I use a Sony a6500 and a few prime lenses, so it's too light of a camera to use on the Crane 2, so this is the V2. And what it's used for, you attach your camera to this thing right here, and then it like keeps your camera super steady, and you use it like this, and it makes your footage super steady and professional looking, and I love it. First things first, this isn't a video of how to balance this thing and how to set it up. There's plenty of videos out there explaining that, so if you want to learn how to do that, go check out another video. But what I do want to talk to you guys about today is why I got this and how I think you guys can benefit from buying one of these too, if you're into making videos and are into filmmaking like me. Second, I want to compare footage using this thing versus not using it and show you guys the comparisons, because there's a pretty drastic difference and you can do a lot more when you have one of these. And then just my overall, general first impression thoughts. I've only had one day to use this, which was the other day, the footage you guys saw at the beginning of the video of Labib in Malibu. So shout out to Labib for being my model and helping me get those shots. So yeah, let's get right into the video. So let's start with why I bought one of these. This thing stabilizes footage. One huge component that separates like amateur filmmakers from professional is how your footage looks, and a big component with how your footage looks is how stabilized it is. I think a huge telltale sign that a filmmaker is still an amateur is that they have shaky footage. If you're into filmmaking at all, whether it be as an amateur, you're just starting out, or you make videos professionally more consistently, I highly recommend getting something like this. It doesn't have to be this. You don't have to go spend $400 on it like I did. There's much cheaper options and alternatives out there, but I do recommend getting something that helps your footage look more stable, because it'll give you better looking footage and footage that's more professional. So for this next part of the video, I want to compare and contrast footage that I got both using the gimbal and not using the gimbal, so you guys can see the difference and compare the two and see for yourselves. So I'm going to do some voiceover and explain the shots that I'm getting and different things that I was doing. So let's hop into that right now. Okay, in this first shot, I'm just walking forward with the camera. This is a really tough shot to get to look good if you're just using the camera. It just looks really shaky and just doesn't look great. But if you use the gimbal, as you can see in this shot, it's the same exact shot. It's so much better, so much more stabilized, and just looks a lot cleaner. In this shot, I'm walking to the left, and it's just a really tough shot to get to look good, especially because you're walking sideways. But if you use the gimbal, it looks like the camera's just floating through the air, and it looks so much better with the gimbal. This next shot is a pan up. I could have gone a little bit slower without the gimbal, but as you can see with the gimbal, looks a lot better. This shot is really hard to get to look good without a gimbal, because you're walking around the table and turning the camera at the same time. But with the gimbal, as you can see, a huge difference and just way smoother. Alright, and welcome back. That was the comparison. So yeah, as you can see, sometimes, it makes more of a difference than others, but I think it's safe to say that overall, having the gimbal versus not having the gimbal is better, and it's gonna get you better footage basically every time. So yeah, this thing is not that heavy and not that big, which is so nice. I'm the kind of guy who does a lot of run and gun shooting, and I don't like massive things. The portability on this is great. It has a very professional build, which is fantastic. It doesn't feel cheap, and I would hope not for $400. Now, of course, there's better gimbals out there, but I'm run and gun. I like to, have the portability of something small like this. That's gonna make a huge difference. So this is the perfect gimbal for me. There's things like the Ronin, which my buddy Rob has, which I've used before, and that thing is amazing. Like, that is professional level film equipment. But that thing is huge. You can't just take that anywhere. This, you can detach, put in your backpack, and it's not gonna weigh you down, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. So this is definitely something that you can take wherever, whenever, which I personally love. And yeah, that's kind of my short first impression / review on the Zhiyun Crane V2. If you guys like these camera-based tech review type of videos, let me know. I'd love to do like a what's in my camera bag type of video. I get a lot of questions on like what kind of gear do I use, what kind of camera do I use, and I'd love to make a video on that, so let me know if you guys would like to see that. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!